Oh boy. Oh boy. History was made for EDM within Friday, March 25th through Sunday, March 27th. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, or as I like to call all of my viewers, hello ravers. I'm Brawlerz, EDM content creator, DJ, producer. Hey, let's just drop right into the main topic of the weekend that happened in Florida, mainly Ultra Music Festival Miami 2022. We're going to get in right now. The main man himself, of course, we got to address. Hardwell has returned indeed. I knew this was going to happen, and it's just awesome to see a familiar face return to the main stage. Lo and behold, for around 4 years, almost 4 years, I would say, it's been since he took the hiatus on September 7th of 2018. This was very well predicted among thousands of people, including myself. I knew it was a 95% chance that he was going to come back. So happy that he was performing as the final slot on the main stage. But before we get into the main area of the video, I just want to give a little quick reminder. If you like what I'm doing with my EDM journey, giving you a bunch of EDM info, and I have a bunch of other stuff coming up around the corner, be sure to hit that like, spin that sub, OTT notifications, and all that good stuff so you can join me in my crazy shenanigans. So, with Ultra Miami 2022, I need to say a few constructive criticisms about the live stream. All in all, yes, it was awesome to have everything back up and at it, but I was a little bit disappointed. Granted, after 3 years, it is good to see Ultra the entire weekend that went down. It was a nostalgic feeling indeed. But there are 2 pointers I wish that I could give out, and hopefully they will be adjusted for the next Ultra Miami. So number 1, there were very few channels. There was only 3, and there were 7 stages in total. In my opinion, there should be a channel for every single stage. A good example, Electric Daisy Carnival Las Vegas 2021 had 8 channels for all the stages. Granted, not all of them worked, especially in night 1 of EDC Las Vegas, which that really got me ticked off because I wanted to see Halion. But eventually all 8 channels were running on night 2 and 3. Just allow Ultra Music Festival Radio to be streamed. Allow the live stage to have its own channel. All of these guys. There are some unique producers that there are some people that don't even know. A good example that I mentioned, Luca Testa, that was on the Oasis stage for Sunday, I believe. And number 2, the time of the streams. The festival started at 4 in the afternoon on Friday and noon on Saturday and Sunday. However, the live streams started hours after the opening of day 2 and 3, mainly at 4 in the afternoon. Enough of those constructive criticisms. Let's look at the main sets that closed off Ultra Music Festival Miami 2022, and let's get right into it because I got some stuff to cover. Placing in 3rd place, I gotta give it to Kygo for night 1. This set was an interesting one. Since he is known for tropical house music, many expect to get that. But we got a mix of many categories of EDM. Nothing really wrong with that because it is pretty complex to have a full tropical house set for the main stage because that's what practically the entire world is going to be seeing. But there was also hip-hop. Some of the mashups I'm going to be including of what went down with Kygo's set will be the following. Hot Stuff versus I've Seen It All, which was a Kygo mashup. Another one of his mashups was Stay versus In My Arms. Feel the Vibe versus Born to Be Yours. That one was a pretty good one. And also 50 Cent ended up showing up and covering 3 songs, mainly the ones that he was known for, which I do understand to have a little bit of fun for night 1. Some of the individuals that he brought out, of course I'm going to mention it one more time, 50 Cent. And he also brought out DNCE. And lastly, he brought Conrad Sewell to sing one of his signature songs, Firestone. I really enjoyed the orchestral piece of Firestone with the original Firestone, finishing off Ultra Music Festival for night 1. This set, in my opinion, was meant to be reflecting of you just enjoying the music and saying to yourself, oh yeah, it's good to be back indeed. That's all I gotta say. Right up for 2nd place, and this one is going to be controversial for many people that will hear this. It will be Hardwell for night 3. Yes, I'm going to get barraged for this opinion. However, just hear me out. Then you can take it to the comments section if you please. As I was super stoked and I had my highest predictions of the king, being the king of Big Room, returning to the decks, what we all got? Something very different from his well-known style. The set that he did seemed to me as a future rave techno style that caught many off guard, especially myself within the chat room of the live stream. At one point, I kid you not, that there were over 60,000 people tuning in, making this one of the biggest and most successful EDM streams in a long time. But the chat section was mixed, to say the least. I was ready for that big room energy to relive the old times, but it seemed like we went to the future, to a new sound that involved with the EDM categories I mentioned earlier. Along with this new face of Hardwell, on the bottom of his name showed a text saying, "Rebels never die." Sounds cool? And this is the viewing of his new album for the entire world to witness. Not only that, but he is going to several destinations all over the globe. For proof, check out his official website for the times, destinations, and tickets if you are interested in catching a show with Hardwell's return. To tell you the truth, I recognized none of the songs from this set, except the acapellas of Apollo and Spaceman. Yes, there were a few old melodies that I caught, but not with how I was expecting. Putting everything together, I'll personally admit I was a little surprised with how this set was. The only real highlight for me was at the end of the set with some fast bumping 140 something beats per minute ending to close off Ultra Music Festival 2022. Keep in mind, many ended up knowing Hardwell as he blew up with Spaceman, Apollo, and such songs in 2012 through 2018. I personally found out who Hardwell was in mid-2016. Of course, many found out of Hardwell in that 6-year time span. Wouldn't be familiar with his style before those years of how he blew up, including myself. All in all, as I mentioned, it is good to see the OG back. However, and this is the big however, I would say what he did was a big risk. So let me break it down for you. Say you made a career with making some of the best pizza in the city, and people from all over the city, the state, the country know you for doing that. And I'm just blabbering out what's going on in my head right now. I'm not sure why I'm thinking of pizza, but pizza and EDM go hand in hand for me. Anyways, you end up taking a long break and decide to travel all over the world. And you decide yourself a few years later, I want to get back to doing my own thing, but I'm going to surprise everybody. So you do. You return, and you have changed up your pizza style with brand new everything. Dough, sauce, toppings, the whole nine. Yep, it turns out all right as you try it out, but you were looking forward to the style you once knew. That taste that you heard in the past and you told yourself, I can't wait to taste it again. That's how I feel with Hardwell's set. This is important as artists and producers gotta go forth with making new music. It seems in the process of his hiatus, he wanted to have a new style that was way up to date with what's going on in the present scene of 2021 and 2022. Because of his giant name and his well-known reputation in the EDM world, Hardwell can manage this transition. Unless you are someone that is extremely well recognized, like Armin van Buuren, Tiesto, Zed, Martin Garrix, I can go on and on. Changing your style in a surprising manner could put your name on the line for people to not get with your style, to get with the change that you decide to do. That is, if you are known for one certain category and then change it into something very different. One that comes to mind would have to be Headhunters. During his times of the early hardstyle years, he started to get pretty tired of it and he decided to go into Progressive House and Big Room, which he made with many collaborations, including Kashmir, Stevie Aoki, and many other individuals. Then he returned to hardstyle, which fortunately it worked out in his favor, and it seems like it's going to work out for Hardwell with the massive boom that just happened not too long ago. Kashmir explained this in a brief catch-up interview with his album called Harmonic Alignment, admitting that as much as he loved this album, this different style that he approached it to, he knows that the style to be presented in an ultra stage would be very, very risky, and it would catch many people off guard. So he played it safe with his performance. But going back to Hardwell one more time, something that came to mind after I saw the set and I came into terms of saying it is good that he's doing the music that he enjoys, giving a new face of Hardwell, and returning to the scene. It brings a huge question. Is Big Room dead? Honestly, that remains to be seen and hear from artists that are still doing this style of EDM. Also depends with how much you, as the viewer/listener, go into this category of EDM. It used to be very huge within 2011 through 2017, However, some producers that I strongly recommend you sticking around to hear their style of big room will be the following: W&W, Timmy Trumpet, Blasterjacks, Afrojack, Bassjackers, Danik, Sick Individuals, and many more that I could just go on with some of these producers that aren't mentioned. You can go look at the list at revealedrecordings.com. For now, he is happy with this Future Rave textile that he gave out on the closing set of Night 3. Now for the first place, it's none other than Illenium for Night 2 of Ultra Miami 2022. Yep, the meme of, alright, we get it, we know you love this DJ meme is screaming right now in my head. However, I personally haven't seen Illenium in a full set, have you know? But with this set, I did not expect this type of performance with Nick, and it was something that it was going to go down in history for many supporters and fans of Illenium. So let me just describe with how he did some of these numerous and beautifully mixed blends and mashups. Some that I recognize will be the following: Feel Good versus Free Fall, In Your Head, the RL Grime edit with Gold. That was something that caught me off guard, and I said this was something that I dig with instantly. Feel Some Power. This is Feel Something with the vocals to the song Power of Kanye West. Heavenly Side with If I Lose Myself a cappella. And it sounded like a VIP of a remix or something that was completely out of the park. Good Things Fall Apart versus Sad Songs. All of these were absolutely incredible. Plus 2 named IDs. I cannot wait for the one with Marshmello with No Regrets. That one sounds completely soothing. And he played numerous songs from Ray Volpe, Virtual Riot, and he played a remix from Pixel Terror, which I will be covering Pixel Terror in a separate video, so keep an eye out for that. Something happened with those 2 individuals. Nick even brought out the following singers: Tori Kelly, the singer from Blame Myself, Ian Dior from First Time, and John Billion from Good Things Fall Apart. Fun fact, John Billion also sings the song Beautiful Now from Zed, one of my favorite songs of all time. Hands down, Illenium takes my number 1 spot for the closing set of Ultra Music Festival Miami 2022. This was completely good to have that little dose of nostalgic and saying we are back, baby. And I hope that for next year it will be even bigger and better and more improved than it was this year. But what do you ravers think? Do you have your own rankings of the 3 final sets that I mentioned? Let me know in the comments down below. And I gotta say, thank you for subscribing, for liking, for sharing, for viewing my video. Even if you view it from beginning to end, that's the most important thing for me to say. Thank you for giving my content a shot. I can't wait. This year is going to be something incredible. Lastly, keep listening, stay safe, and rave on. Legends back, baby.